Hey folks, so today we have something very special. So I've spent probably about 6 months assembling the components for this, and let's just jump right into it. So what we have here is the Denon DP-3000 motor unit and micro Seiki Tonearm MA-202 with an Audio Technica D7 head shell and the Accutex 315 cartridge. So let's kind of hit all the points one after another. So the DP-3000 motor unit, excellent unit, almost fully metal, die cast base, metal enclosure underneath. This motor unit, you could take it out and sit it on a table. It was designed to be mounted in plinths, essentially made for the broadcast market in early to mid 70s. And this one is I'd say first of all from the standpoint of cosmetic condition, it's easily near mint. It's just incredible condition. Other nice thing is this one was sold for the North American market, so it's 120 volts. And most of these motor units you'll see they're out of Japan, so that's 100 volts. Um, Not a huge deal, but you do need to get a step down transformer, and you really should get a proper transformer, not a switching power supply unit. And also, this was never used in broadcast or any type of commercial use, so the condition is just incredible. Um, uh, so a few things about it. So motor unit is really strong. It it does have servo control and speed adjustment, and this is really one of the most stable ones I've ever experienced. So I did do really gave it everything it needs. So I did lubricate, remove, disassemble, lubricate the spindle, as well as the control. So pretty fanatical about this, but I take all the controls out, um, clean everything out. Actually, I'll soak them in a water and mild soap solution for a few hours just to get everything is is just super clean, and from a standpoint of function, feel, everything, it's just wonderful. So obviously hit those with flush those with deoxit a couple times while all that was taken apart. And also from the standpoint of the electronics, I did replace a few of the transistors because we're back in the mid 70s here. So I replaced actually several of the transistors with modern low noise, higher quality equivalents, mainly in the servo circuit and the control circuit. So you just have excellent performance. I know we're kind of hitting a lot here, but one of the things I really like about this table is the control. So there's no on-off button, which is just super convenient. So you press the speed, and your nice big chunky button also lights up. Press your speed. You can go from one speed to another. Adjust it to with the servo if you like, and then just hit stop when you're done. So um, if you have any familiarity with like industrial controls or like high-end woodworking machinery, they'll use it's called a contactor, essentially a self-actuating relay. So when you press the button, it energizes a relay which holds the switch on, and until you press stop, and it's deactivated. So for instance, if you had this table on and you cut power to it, or the power went out, when it went back on, it wouldn't be on because the relay would be deactivated. So maybe not a huge deal, but certainly from the convenience and performance, it's really nice to have that. And I think I mentioned this is certainly one of the most stable. I don't think you can see the strobe in the camera, but one of the most stable. Typically, what you have to when you turn on a strobe unit, a servo control table, you really have to hold yourself back from adjusting the speed because about 10 minutes in it'll have warmed up and the speed will have adjusted, and that's really what you want to do really with any turntable is wait 10-15 minutes or even longer before adjusting the speed. This one, from the point at which you turn it on to 10-15 minutes, an hour, 2 hours later, is almost no variation. It's just dead on, and super easy to make adjustments because it's very stable. It's not finicky at all. So just a wonderful motor unit. Also super strong. So if you use let's say you have one of these here, use something like this to clean your records. You could even do it with the record playing. You're really not going to notice any speed deviation. Just super strong. So let's get into the Tonearm. So this is micro Seiki Tonearm. So micro Seiki, really one of the highest turntable and tonearm manufacturers in Japan from the 70s and 80s. The MA-202, excellent quality tonearm, medium mass, so it's great for a wide variety of cartridges, both modern and vintage. Uses a standard type head shell, which also is nice. Couple things. The counterweight is adjusted in two ways. So the weight slides for kind of a rough adjustment, and then it there's a fine tuning turning for the fine tune of the stylus force. So means you can use a wide variety also of weights of cartridges without having to worry about sub weights and auxiliary weights and things like that. So that's nice. But really the killer feature, if you're not familiar with this Tonearm, is that it has VTA on the fly. So the tracking angle, which is essentially the height of your pivot point, which controls the angle at which your stylus or your turntable needle rides in the record, that's adjustable on the fly, meaning while the record is playing. So you loosen a little rubberized thumb screw there and can make that adjustment. So you can get that dialed in perfectly. So really nice Tonearm. Then the Audio-Technica head shell. So this is a nice head shell. It's a D7, fairly low mass actually, 7.5 grams. I have to say it's a good head shell, but I mainly selected it for the aesthetics. So orange, picking up on the orange of the lever, which is you got. This is the original finish on this plinth. It's got a bit of an orange tone, and with the orange here and the orange there, I think it just is fantastic and really picks up that 70s vibe. And then finally, kind of the frosting on the cake, if you will, is this cartridge. So this is an original cartridge, not original to this table, but this is the Accutex LPM 315 STR. So one of the higher models from Accutex, 80s design, and this one is in fantastic original condition, and that's been tested. I tested it visually, technically with the frequency response, as well as listening to various, a lot of different, source material from classical to rock and roll and so forth. So excellent condition. And when I put on one of my records in a moment, I would not touch a stylus that had any concern about condition to one of my prized records. So this one is truly a great cart. And so not only from the standpoint of performance, and it was nice to kind of have an overall theme with this vintage table, but also it just looks fantastic. So it picks up on the shape as well as the color, picks up on the overall aesthetic, and the blue with the orange is always a nice contrast. So I had a lot of fun putting this together. Did it casually over a period of about 6 months. I've had it ready since I think it was about late March, early April, and really been enjoying it. I've probably played it at least, so probably put an additional 30 hours on that cart, but it still has a lot of life left. Finally, the plinth, which is an overall, I'd say, excellent condition. So it is real wood. It's solid laminations of plywood finished with a veneer. I'd say it's very good to excellent. It is the original finish. Nice thing about real wood is it can take on a few dings and nicks and still look very good, in contrast to like a vinyl wrap, which, those look terrible unless they're perfect. I forgot to mention with the feet. So I found a really good set of feet. So this is a heavy turntable. So luckily these feet were used on several different models, and so often the feet on this really heavy turntable have been overly compressed. So I found a set, vintage set, in like almost like new old stock condition. They were really nice, supple, correct height. They are adjustable if you need to, do any leveling. And let's see, and the dust cover. The dust cover on this this is one of the best dust covers I've seen. So it's nice, thick. It's fairly heavy, but strong springs, so it's easy to use. It has these nice metal metal knobs here, so you don't even have to touch the plastic of the cover, and it's a nice look. It's kind of a light tint, almost. It's kind of a rosy gray. It's got a hint of a rose color in it, but nicely tinted, not too dark, so you can still see the table really well. At least in real life. I'm not sure how well this comes off in the camera. And metal hinges, obviously, very strong springs, and they're also adjustable. So if you wanted to, make that stronger or lighter in terms of lifting it up and down. So I think we hit most of the things. The Tonearm has been rewired with Cardis 33 Tonearm wire, so really nice Litz high quality Tonearm wire. Let's see what else we can hit here. Dust cover has been polished. Well, I think we pretty much hit everything. I think you can tell I love this setup. It's a beautiful setup. It's not really perfect for me because it's a manual table, so fully manual. And we'll do a quick demo here. So this is my record that I got received from my parents in the 80s. So I was really liked Led Zeppelin back at that time. Still enjoy them today. So super easy to use. So just press your speed button. Generally leave the Tonearm queued up. Bring it over to your leading groove. Sorry, I'm kind of at a weird angle here. And then lower it down. See if the amp is still on there. Yeah. So I'm sorry that we're not really set up to let you enjoy the audio performance of this table. So it does sound amazing. From the standpoint of the stability of the motor to the quality of the sound of the cartridge through the Tonearm and the new wiring, everything. It's excellent in every way. You're listening through my camera microphone, so you're only going to get so much. And so that's about it. It's a fully manual table, so not the best for me. I tend to put on a record, and unless I'm sitting there, I get distracted, and also I come back and an hour later it's spinning in the groove. But I do enjoy the feel and the function and kind of the process of a fully manual table. Obviously, it does have the queuing, so you have that. I think you saw how the queuing is nice and smooth up and down. So everything's been addressed with the Tonearm, so the damping, everything, as well as the motor unit, polishing the cover. Really, everything's been addressed, been brought up to a very high standard. It's a great looking piece. Aesthetically, it really hits a great 70s vibe for me, and has the sonic performance in addition. So hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoy this table, and hope you do as well. Thanks so much. Bye.